Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of transactions and the concluding part of asset properties. So in the previous video we have seen that every commercial DBMS supports asset properties for the proper execution of DBMS transactions. Asset, as you know, stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. Atomicity was if a transaction has multiple operations, then either all of them are reflected to the database or none of them. Okay, so which means that partially executed transactions are not reflected in the database, and if they are reflected they are rolled back. Okay, means if you are transferring 100 from one account to another, if transaction fails between this, then this will be rolled back and half transaction will not be allowed. Consistency means in general that all the conditions, constraints, restrictions applied on database items are never violated. Okay, now come to the third part, that is isolation. Now this isolation is somewhat like you might have learned in OS, that is critical section. Now this isolation says that during the execution of a transaction, whatever intermediate results it generates, it should not be visible to other transactions. Or in other words, once the transaction has started executing and it is accessing some data items, those data items should not be available to other transactions because it will lead to number of problems. Okay, so by definition it means that each transaction must be unaware of other transaction, but technically it means that intermediate results should be hidden from other concurrently executing transactions. Let us see an example. Now suppose a transaction was transferring 100 rupees from one account to another. So these were the first three lines, that 100 rupees deducted from first account and returned back. Now suppose in between another transaction comes and it tries to calculate the total of account X and account Y. Then what will happen? It will read, if it is allowed, then what will happen? It will read X. Now X will be read with 100 less value. And Y? So balance will be printed. So balance will show loss of 100 rupees. It has happened because in between of this transaction T1, another transaction was allowed to access the same data items. Okay, so this situation is called as concurrency, that T1 and T2 are running and their operations are mixed because of CPU scheduling, that first three operations are executed here, then next two operations of this, and then again. This is what happens. So you can understand that since this transaction was not finished, 100 was deducted but not added to Y. So in between this, try to read this value. So it will show a wrong balance. Wrong balance, suppose this has 500, this has 1000. So now it will become 400. And in between it comes read it 400 and 1000, 1400. So where is rupees 100? Okay. So this is called as, so this should not be allowed. Okay. This is called as isolation. That intermediate result, this is the intermediate result, should not be visible to other transactions. Now you can very well understand this can be avoided, that if these two transactions are not allowed to run in a mixed manner. First of all, this is executed completely and then this is known as serial execution, that is one after the other. But serial execution has number of drawbacks. If there are number of transactions, the last transaction has to wait a lot. Okay, this is something like you give a scooter for service, and if your scooter is serviced completely, then only next scooter is started for servicing, then it will take a lot of time. Rather, what happens, you see that multiple washing, multiple cleaning takes place at the same time. So that is known as concurrency. So after some time, what happens that scooters or motorcycles start coming out of the service center after finishing. So this is called as concurrence execution of transactions. So because if one has to wait before one service is finished, another will have to wait a lot. So what you want a medium, a middle solution of this situation. Okay, that this problem should not occur. Along with this, some instruction of other transactions are also executed. So how it is achieved, that we will see in another topics. Right now, this was an example of isolation property. Okay. Next is durability. Now, durability means that if a user was given a message that your transaction is complete, and after that message some hardware failure occurs, then next time it is the responsibility of database that when the system restarts, it should see the consistent correct values. Okay, this is the meaning of durability. So durability guarantees that once a transaction has been committed, it will remain committed even in case of power failure. Now, what does it mean? Let us try to see with an example. See, this is the same example that we have seen multiple times. This is your front end written in any technology, and the data is going into a table. Now, suppose user has entered something new. Kapil Sharma, title Mr. reports to take anything. Now, suppose user presses OK, yeah, next. So, what happens? The record has been entered. But technically, sometimes what can happen that this record might be in certain queue in RAM which is waiting to be written to the hard disk. Okay. So next time when user closes it, or suppose suddenly light goes off. So next time when you open it up and you try to go to the last record, then your record should be present. Because as per user has pressed save, next, commit, whatever is the button. So now how it is achieved? There are number of complex techniques through which this is achieved. One of the most simplest and common technique is use of log file, log tables, whatever you call it. Okay. So durability means that completed transactions are recorded in what told you in the beginning, that stable storage or non-volatile memory. Okay. Now try to read this paragraph. What is written here? That as per the user, the transaction was successful, but due to some hardware reasons, the changes are queued in the buffer. Okay, and the power fails. So the user will assume that the changes are there. So database should implement such technique that when the system is restarted, the results are there. So there are a number of methods to implement this. As I have told you, one of the common technique is logging that we will see in another tutorials. Okay. So this is what are four ACID properties. Okay. Kindly go through the videos again, prepare notes because they will be helpful in your assessments and exams, objective papers, etc. Thank you very much. See you in your next video.